LithuaniaRussia relations refers to bilateral foreign relations between Lithuania and Russia. Lithuania has an embassy in Moscow and consulates in St. Petersburg, Kaliningrad and Sovetsk. Russia has an embassy in Vilnius, with consulates in Klaipėda. The two countries share a common border through Kaliningrad Oblast in 1795. Vilna Governorate and Slonim Governorate were established by the Russian Empire after the third partition of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Just a year later, on December 12, 1796, by order of Tsar Paul I, they were merged into one governorate, called the Lithuanian Governorate, with its capital in Vilnius. By order of Tsar Alexander I on September 9, 1801, the Lithuanian Governorate was split into the Lithuania-Vilnius Governorate and the Lithuania-Grodno Governorate. After 39 years, the word Lithuania was dropped from the two names by Nicholas I. In 1843, another administrative reform took place, creating the Kaunas Governorate out of 7 western districts of the Vilnius Governorate, including all of Žemaitija. The Vilnius Governorate received 3 additional districts, Vailika and Zisna from the Minsk Governorate and Lyda from Grodno Governorate. It was divided to districts of Vilnius, Trakai, Disna, Oshmiani, Lyda, Vailika and Svenštini. This arrangement remained unchanged until World War I. A part of the Vilnius Governorate was then included in the Lithuania district of Ober-Ost, formed by the occupying German Empire. During the Polish-Soviet War, the area was annexed by Poland. The Council of Ambassadors and the international community recognized Polish sovereignty over Vilnius region in 1923. In 1923, the Vilno Voivodeship was created, which existed until 1939, when the Soviet Union occupied Lithuania and Poland and returned most of the Polish annexed land to Lithuania. During the 1905 Russian Revolution, a large Congress of Lithuanian representatives in Vilnius, known as the Great Seimas of Vilnius, demanded provincial autonomy for Lithuania on 5 December of that year. The Tsarist regime made a number of concessions as the result of the 1905 uprising. The Baltic states once again were permitted to use their native languages in schooling and public discourse, and Catholic churches were built in Lithuania. Latin characters replaced the Cyrillic alphabet that had been forced upon Lithuanians for 4 decades. But not even Russian liberals were prepared to concede autonomy similar to that had already existed in Estonia and Latvia, albeit under Baltic German hegemony. Many Baltic Germans looked toward aligning the Baltics with Germany. After the outbreak of hostilities in World War I, Germany occupied Lithuania and Kurland in 1915. Vilnius fell to the Germans on 19 September 1915. An alliance with Germany in opposition to both Tsarist Russia and Lithuanian nationalism became for the Baltic Germans a real possibility. Lithuania was incorporated into Ober-Ost under a German government of occupation, as open annexation could result in a public relations backlash. The Germans planned to form a network of formally independent states that would in fact be dependent on Germany. As the combined result of the October Revolution and the end of World War I, the power in the territory of Lithuania was contested by several political forces: national, Polish, and Moscow-backed communist factions. The Council of Lithuania signed the Act of Independence of Lithuania. During the Soviet westward offensive of 1918-19, which followed the retreating German troops, a Lithuanian-Soviet war was fought between the newly independent Lithuania and the Soviet Russia. At the same time period, the Soviet Russia had relations with the short-lived communist puppet states, Lithuanian Soviet Socialist Republic, which was soon merged into the Lithuanian Byelorussian Soviet Socialist Republic. In April 1920, the Constituent Assembly of Lithuania was elected and first met the following May. In June it adopted the Third Provisional Constitution and on July 12, 1920, signed the Soviet-Lithuanian Peace Treaty. In the treaty, the Soviet Union recognized fully independent Lithuania and its claims to the Disputed Vilnius region. Lithuania secretly allowed the Soviet forces passage through its territory as they moved against Poland. On July 14, 1920, the advancing Soviet army captured Vilnius for a second time from Polish forces. The city was returned to Lithuanians on August 26, 1920, following the defeat of the Soviet offensive. The victorious Polish army returned and the Soviet-Lithuanian treaty increased hostilities between Poland and Lithuania. To prevent further fighting, the Suwalki Agreement was signed with Poland on October 7, 1920. It left Vilnius on the Lithuanian side of the armistice line. It never went into effect, however, because Polish General Lusjan Zieligowski, acting on Joseph Pilsudski's orders, staged the Zieligowski's mutiny, a military action presented as a mutiny. He invaded Lithuania on Oak